Hey, Dr. Josh here with Patient Mastery. This quick training is because I hear a lot of chiropractors ask the question, why do I need or why should I get a chiropractic business coach? And oftentimes these chiropractors are stuck around the 20, 30, 40,000 a month collections mark. The reason I know that is because chiropractors above that mark have almost always used some type of chiropractic mentoring, coaching, business consulting. Why? Because top docs ask for help and are always seeking out the best resources. But I'm going to share, when you're stuck at that 20s, 30s, 40,000, less than halfway under $1 million practice, there's certain things that keep you from growing easier. What we've identified are the 3 mistakes chiropractors make without a business coach. So the first one is not knowing how to collect cash. A few years ago, we had an awesome member come to us, $1 million practice, had about 12 team members, employees, 1 or 2 associates, very mainly insurance dependent in Texas, and realized that, hey, the reimbursements were getting lower and lower for what he was billing. Salaries are getting higher, office expenses are getting higher, and even though he had $1 million practice, things were really tight. We helped him let go one by one of the insurances. He's down to, I believe, 5 team members, so that's 7 less salaries. Just 1 doc practice, all cash now, let's say except Medicare, is back up, obviously there was a dip, back up $1 million collections and profiting the most he's ever month to month, like literally profiting 30 to 40,000 a month, being able to literally retire family members because of that. Now, he's actually going to be next month's Patient Mastery case study success share, where he'll share his story, what he did, ask him questions. It's going to be awesome. But he didn't know how to do this without getting a coach. And if he stayed in the insurance game as it's declining, all that would have happened is he would have gone out of business. Because even like a decade before, that almost happened with another issue. If you see yourself too insurance dependent and the insurance reimbursement is going down each year, while office expenses go up, cost of living goes up, it's not a good situation to be in. And if you're insurance dependent, you don't have the headspace, the communication ability, or how to even create fee structures that are easy for patients to understand and say, yeah, I want to do that, even if they thought insurance was going to cover it all. That's what you'll teach. And there's ways to get that where you'll feel like a salesperson, or you'll feel like you've got to scare them to death, or you could learn patient mastery and it's professional, it's simple, it's elegant, and it's powerful. So you get paid, they get back to their life, and it's a win-win. If you don't have a business coach, you probably don't know how to raise fees, because we see this all the time. And the common dilemma is, think about an ice cream shop. If you're used to, let's just say you go and get an ice cream cone for $4, and okay, from December to January, new year, new fees, that same exact ice cream cone goes from $4 to $7, and you're getting the same exact thing, you're probably gonna go less often. Or when you go, you don't get the big one. No one likes to pay more, unless we're talking about like a 5% increase, which really isn't gonna change much for you, than more for getting the same exact thing. So we show you the psychology and the communication, how to make justifiable fee raises, which if you're seeing the same amount of people, yeah, maybe 1 or 2 people will drop off, but guess what? More people will fill their place, and you make a nice income profit increase for saying the same volume, same people with a raise. But you got to do it right. And there's a lot of chiropractors, especially when you're stuck below that 40,000 a month mark, where you may have not raised your fees in like 3, 5, 7, 13 years, we hear. And it's all out of not knowing how to do it and fear. We'll get you over that. And then the next most important one is what we call your right next move. Now this is strategy based and it's different for every chiropractor. Every 90 days we have a group call sending you forward for the next 90 days. What are the top 3 things you need to focus on for your practice to get to your next 15 to 20,000 collections and profits bump? And you have one-to-ones with my team and your tribe coach to figure out strategy. Is it, you know what, now's the time for an associate, or now's the time to let the associate go, or Is it time for a different front desk? Is it time for an office manager? Is it time to start trying this marketing route? Is it time to let go of this marketing route because when we actually look at the return, it's not worth it? Your right next move without a business coach is all from your own head. And if you're anything like me, it's easy to get very tunnel vision and just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Now, if it's working, great, but as quarters and years go by, as circumstances and the atmosphere changes, what worked last year, 5 years ago, doesn't necessarily work the same now. And what worked to get you from 20 to 30,000 a month or 30 to 40,000 a month is not going to be the same strategy that gets you to the $1 million practice. Or even if 60, 50,000 a month is your goal, if you're at 30, doing the same thing over and over again and thinking time is going to change it, time is never a factor in a strategy of increase outside of compounding interest. Time only increases things when you're doing new and right steps, tactics, actions, strategies. Having someone outside of your own brain point out, hey, here's what you need to focus on next, is one of the most valuable strategies. And that's why the best of the best, whether it's athletes, entertainers, top business executives, has a coach. Because no matter how strong you are, no matter how powerful you are, there's things you can't see, just like a fish doesn't understand water. And having someone who's at above your level point out, oh, I've been where you are, this is where you're banging your head against the wall, this is what you don't see is missing, that's invaluable. And that's what we love about Patient Mastery, is every 90 days, you're getting one of those calls as a group and one-to-one to figure out your next right move. Is it an addition? Is it a subtraction? Either way, it's growth and going forward. So if you know you're stuck well above or well below the $1 million practice, you want to double your profits, double your collections, click below, comment ready, go to patientmastery.com and reach out for help to see what's possible for your unique practice.